You may disagree, but up to me, it's a fact. You're paying running backs, it ain't no fun in that. Yeah, the sermon about to start, so I hope you know your stats. And if Kev get it wrong, then Rashad on his back with the facts. Matter of fact, all we do is say wins. When wings, congregation say amen. Trades, debates, wins, losses, the latest news, bruh. Prophet Kev speak, you got him saying hallelujah.
Welcome to Preach Kev, Preach with Rashad. We are the Prophets, hitting an episode, another sermon. Coming at you from Wildcard Sports here on Wildcard TV. Rashad, man, it was 420 a couple days ago. Now it's 422. Shout out to everybody who enjoyed 420 Day. I guess that's still a thing everybody celebrate, but 422 is Kev Day. Anyway, what's going on, bro?
Oh yeah, you know people did a thing for 420, man. You know you had the verdict on the case, so you know 420 was a big day for a lot of people for different reasons.
Facts. Yeah, as I know we're not a political podcast, but I'm thankful that Minnesota made the right decision in that case. I mean, it's easy decision to do a guilty verdict. I feel like that should have been from day one. But you know, the world is what it is, man, and all we can do is try to be better as people. Move forward and hopefully get better and learn from these mistakes and hope that they don't cost people lives still, which we see that every day.
Oh, I mean, I can't even say this is a justice, a form of justice. This is just accountability. I mean,
right.
You're clearly on camera, you know, taking someone's life. So, you know, that's just he's being held accountable for his actions. But I mean, just in the news, these things have been going on far too long, and hopefully other people can get the accountability that they deserve also. Yeah.
Man, let's move on to the sports part of it, man. So it's been crazy, and I wanted to bring this up to you, like the state of the point guards. Like when you're talking about all-time ranks, like we love Magic Johnson. I love Zeke. He was my favorite players all time. Isaiah Thomas, that is. You got the Jason Kidds, the Steve Nashes, the John Stocktons of the world. It's just crazy because I'm looking at these three guys that we really need to appreciate before their time's up. That's Steph Curry, that's Russell Westbrook, and Chris Paul. Chris Paul, I think he just passed Kobe Bryant for most 30 points in the games in a row. He also, I think, the most points per game in the season so far. I mean, obviously the season not over with, but he at the age of 33 over more than Michael Jordan. Yeah, we all know that his ranks, he's scoring averaging 45 the last 4 or 5 games. You got Russell Westbrook, maybe less than 10 or 10 triple doubles away from Oscar Robertson, and then you got Chris Paul, who just passed Magic Johnson for 5th all time in passing. So man, let's start with Steph Curry, man. The dominance of Steph Curry, the shooting ability, the way he can light the scoreboard up, the impact of his game, man. What's your thoughts on Steph Curry? And as far as an all-time rank, you know, he's climbing that ranks every single day.
I mean, of course, on the team aspect, the season isn't going how recent Warriors seasons have gone when they were winning 60-plus games in contention for the title or favorite to win a title. But on the individual side, he's having, you could say, either his best year or a top 3 year by his career standards. Right. That 2016 season was one for the record books. And the one he's doing now is one for the record books offensively. Now, on the defensive side, you know, the analytics to the metrics. His defensive ratings are down, but this is one of his best career seasons. He's putting up crazy numbers. He's taken over the lead from Bradley Beal for the scoring title. So if he was to hold on to that, this would be his 2nd scoring title. He already has 2 MVPs, 3-time champion, 6-time All-NBA, headed towards, to me, a 7th All-NBA, because I think whether the team is 500, below 500, whatever, I just think you have to take that out of the factor for Curry, because what he's doing is just it's phenomenal. I mean, he's carrying the team. Granted, you know, they're not high up in the West standings, but he's doing the best he can with his skill set and the players he has around him. So, of course, we already recognize him as, well, most people do, recognize him as the greatest shooter ever.
All
I
time.
mean, by the time this guy retires, he's gonna obliterate all the 3-point records. I mean, and that's no disrespect to Reggie or Ray Allen, those guys, but just the volume Steph shoots it, he's gonna obliterate all the 3-point records. I mean, in some of these games, he's shooting 15, 16, 17 threes a night, knocking down 9, 10 of them.
Bro, he shoot, bro.
So
13 threes, 18 3-point attempts. It's crazy.
So he's gonna obliterate the 3-point record book. And on the scoring side, man, the way he gets the shots up, he'll definitely finish in a decent spot on the all-time scoring list. Assist-wise, I'm not sure where he'll finish on that. Like we were just saying about Chris Paul, and of course you got Russ with his triple-doubles averaging those assists. So those guys will probably for sure outdo Curry on the assist side, but the scoring side, he's up there, and when he's done, he's gonna finish pretty high on the scoring side and definitely be the all-time guy on the 3-point side by landslide.
Yeah, I feel like his record would never be broken. I think for threes because we're not going to have this. I don't know if you can have somebody who can shoot at the rate that he shoots. Where as a coach, you're letting this guy shoot any shot that he wants. It's hard. It's hard to find those type of players, right? So when a guy shoots 16 threes a night and he's making 9 to 10, or he got over 20 games where he making 10 3-point field goals, like that's 30. That's crazy. That's 30 points already. So it is iconic to see. Very, very well. I mean, like you said, his team not winning, right? So he gonna make an All-NBA team. We know that. But individually, like you said, one of the best career years he ever had. The crazy part is it's funny how like when other guys be losing, we don't we say he only putting his number because the team's sorry. But if you think about it, the same thing for the Warriors, like because we know Draymond does not a scorer. Wiggins inconsistent, and Kelly Oubre been in and out the lineup, and there's no Klay Thompson. So it's like he has to score all the points because who else going to score? So so to me, it is greatness, but it is inflation as far as like he has to shoot. You know what I'm saying? He has to put the shots up because otherwise they stand no chance in this. So if they was winning, he definitely would be a MVP consideration. But you can't give an MVP to a guy with a team that have a losing record. So. We'll see where the Warriors end up, but we definitely had to shout out Steph Curry for what he's doing. And if you're talking about ranking, man, where you put him on your list at right now?
I know we did a list last year of like we were kind of ranking where guys stood. I still have Magic at 1,
right?
And I think at the time I still had Big O at 2, Zeke 3, and I had Steph at 4, but if you really think about it, how we kind of condemn the older era for lack of teams and those players, I might need to move Big O down a little bit.
Right.
And
I agree with you.
By the time Steph's career is over, I think he will be locked into number 2. I don't think, barring Steph leaving or something crazy happening where somebody comes to Golden State and he gets off a couple more titles. Maybe another MVP, things like that. But he's gonna, like you said, he's gonna obliterate the 3-point record book. So I think, barring a couple more titles and some things on the accolade side, I think he's gonna probably be locked in to Magic at number 2. But today I have him in the top 4, and you can probably say he's number 2 or 3 right now, depending upon your argument. Who else? What you favor? Like I don't think he's moved past Zeke quite yet, but at the same time, you can say he has because Zeke didn't have any MVPs. Steph has the title advantage with 3-2. So right. And on the All NBA side, Steph already has 6 of those to Zeke's 5. So you can say Steph has already passed Zeke, honestly.
Right.
So
yeah, it's kind of
we could say he's number 2 already.
Yeah, it's so hard to compare the eras because. Like the Big O, that was different times, but the '80s with the Pistons and they're brought up like it's just I don't know. I feel like it meant a lot when you had Isaiah Thomas versus Bird versus MJ versus Magic and Kareem, like those kind of guys. So that's why I know for me I hold a lot of stake in Zeke because like what he had to go through as a 6-foot guard who doesn't shoot threes. Like what I'm saying, like it's different when you can stay away from the big guys and shoot from far away like Steph Curry can. And like you said, it's all about the era. How would Steph Curry if he grew up in that era? You can't take Curry now and put him there. That's not fair. But like, what would Curry do being brought up in that era versus Zeke being brought up in this era? Blah blah blah. But either way, yeah, I'm with you, man. He's all right. So I probably would still have Magic 1 as of today. I would still do Zeke 2, and then I would do Curry 3.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair.
Yeah, and then so let's talk about the other guys, man. Chris Paul, he passed Magic Johnson. Now he's top 5. He's behind John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and Mark Jackson. Good old hands down, man down, Mark Jackson. I kind of did a little calculation, a projection of where I think Chris Paul would finish on this list, and he's at 5 now. He's only 200 or so away from Steve Nash and Mark Jackson. I think he passed that next year. If he comes back.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he's coming back.
Easy.
You see that contract? He coming back. He picking that play option.
Easy. But I do not think he catches Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd right now is at 12,091 assists, while Chris Paul is at 10,142. So based off Chris Paul's age, at age of 35, you're talking about 2 more seasons where he only played, 73% of the games, averaging 8 assists. That puts him right in the 11,000 range, about 80 more assists, right? So I mean 800 more assists. So you're putting him third. I think he finished third all time. I think
LeBron James gonna pass him.
Ooh, LeBron James is 8.
Cause depending upon how long Chris Paul decides to stick around.
Yeah, okay, so basically you're saying LeBron gonna last at least. LeBron got to play at least 2 more years after Chris Paul.
I think LeBron and Chris Paul can both last a while.
Both.
But LeBron is because he missed the games right now.
Yeah,
LeBron was right there on his heel, but I still think the way LeBron dominates the ball, he can keep pace with it and maybe outlast, because LeBron is trying to get there to when Bronny get in the league. So LeBron may last a little bit longer.
I like you saying that LeBron James. All right, so I'll say this: when Chris Paul retires, he gonna be third all time. Now whether he finished third all time, we'll find out. I like that. I like that. But so we talked about Isaiah Thomas earlier, right? So he's top 10 in assists. Magic top 10 in assists. So that's 2 guys that I know you say Kirk could be 2, and I got him 3. So it's like right there. But those 2 guys, you got Chris Paul. Where are we putting Chris Paul? Because we talked about last week about how valuable he really is, how he really, if you think about it, as far as most valuable, like he should be one of the guys who should get consideration for that trophy. All-time ranking, Chris Paul, I think I'm going to put him. I'm definitely putting him above Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. So whatever number you got them, I feel like Chris Paul should be ahead of them. So if Magic 1, Curry 2, or Curry 3 with Zeke, whatever, and then let's just leave Big O at 4 for right now. Then Chris Paul top 5 point guard. Do you agree to that?
Yeah. Chris Paul is definitely. I mean, he's definitely one of the 5 best point guards ever. Scoring wise, better than John Stockton, just as efficient as Steve Nash, better defender than Steve Nash. I mean, 11-time All-Star, 9 times All-NBA, 9 times All-Defensive Team, led the league in assists 4 times, steals 6 times. I mean, outside of playoff success, what people categorize as success, Western Conference Finals, NBA titles, that's not my idea of success. Chris Paul has moved from team to team and won. To me, that is success.
That's success. Yeah, agree.
So that, to me, that puts him. I mean, it depends how far we deem Big O, because I mean, I think Chris Paul is right there. Because
I don't want to say it, but I want to say it though. Yeah,
because he doesn't have the titles, he probably can't pass Curry or Zeke. So that puts him in that range where, all right, is he going to be 4 past Big O, or is he going to be 5 right under Big O? Because Big O did get an MVP and did win a title with Kareem. So it depends how much what you put into that. Different league, different era, different teams. But, man, Chris Paul with the Hornets, Clippers, Rockets, Thunder, and now the Suns, the dude has done it all. I think we could say he's the 4th best point guard of all time. how someone else may judge it, it depends upon how close they view him and Zeke or him and Stockton, because Stockton played similar, just in a different era where he didn't score a lot of points like that. But Chris Paul has had times where he averaged 18 and 20 points.
Right.
So
He
just kind of
could be a
depends
closer.
on
He
that.
could be a closer for your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like we talk about John Stockton. Like I love John Stockton. Like I feel like so outside of Big O, so if that's a 5. John Stockton. I still I don't know, Stockton, Kidd, Nash. They all grouped together. I think that's a debate. In itself. So this last guy, who we're comparing to Big O, Russell Westbrook. I mean, triple doubles is like second nature. Like if he doesn't get triple double, it's a bad game. Like he can have 35, 14, and 9. Like he should have got triple double, right? I think when you talk about Russ, and the crazy part is, I don't know what made us like what made it like a split decision, because I feel like either you love Westbrook or you hate him, and for a guy,
it's his style of play.
I mean that's true. It's because a lot of people get mad at Ben Simmons for not shooting threes, right? Because he don't think he got good shot IQ. Would you agree to that? Like that's good. I can't shoot threes. I ain't gonna shoot them. Westbrook gonna come at you 100%. I'm gonna shoot whatever I gotta do to win this game. So if you don't like that, you don't like it. But it's definitely a spectrum. Either you love him or you hate him. I'm on the side where I love him, man. I feel like he's been given a bad rap a lot before in the KD situation, and him leaving and saying having to do everything by himself, getting Paul George. Paul George wanted to play with Kawhi instead. It's like everybody want to play with somebody else besides Russell Westbrook, yet he don't care who he got with him. Whether it's Andre Roberson and Steven Adams, like he gonna come out there and play, and that's I think you gotta love that about Russell Westbrook. So I guess I'm saying all this when he's gonna pass Big O, and he might pass him this year. Like he get triple. Yeah, what I think. Like,
he's Big O has the record at 181, and Russ is at like 171, 172.
Yeah, so 18, 17 games left. Russ gets one every game, so. If he should pass him by the end of the year. So if Big O is known for the triple doubles, but Westbrook has more, it's the only reason why Big O is considered better is because he won a ring. Because would Russ want a ring with a guy like Kareem stature? Like if Russ and Embiid together, I guess because you got to compare who the best big in the NBA is at the time. If Russ was paired with Jokic or Embiid, are we not saying he might win a ring? It's like, so I don't know how much we hold stock into that ring where Kareem was the best player in the league. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know how we do that. But if he passes him, like, why are we not saying Russ Westbrook should be in the same category as Steph Curry and Chris Paul, where we both have him ranked top 5?
I mean, I don't try to, make up scenarios where, like, if this person did this or play with so and so, they would have a ring or a title. I mean, it's just too hard to do all the nuances of that kind of stuff. Just from a skill perspective, I would still go Big O over Russ. I mean, Russ, efficiency-wise, career is like 44%, Big O's 48%. For the free throw line, Russ is in the 70s, Big O's in the mid-80s. And, of course, the triple-double thing, Russ is going to pass him on the totality side, but to me, that's still a product of the game is so much faster, way more possessions, and then you got to think about back in the 60s, 70s, the way they treated assists was how they graded assists was different. Like it was tougher to get assists back in that era versus now. They're a little more lenient with assists. So, I mean, on the legacy side, it depends upon the person. I mean, of course, Big O was in the 60s, 70s. You have to really deep dive to get your footage on him.
Yeah.
And, of course, that depends upon how what respect you hold for the game of that era as far as the amount of teams, the rules back then. Mm-hmm. Of course, now the game has evolved, so an athlete like Russell Westbrook can flourish, So it just kind of depends upon, who's holding the discussion. If you ask a guy like Charles Barkley, who's the better player, he's going to say, I love Russell Westbrook, but I still think Big O is this guy. So then, you ask somebody who's 20 years old who don't even know who the hell Big O is, they're going to say Russ all day.
So,
right? So, it's just one of those things where all this stuff is gonna always be opinion based. Who saw what, who can judge what, who has access to what. So I would think right now Big O's locked into the top 5. And then you also have to look at a guy like Jason Kidd. Russ is a way better scorer than Jason Kidd.
So you saying right now he's number 6? That's what I'm getting from that.
Like I'm just throwing it out there. Like, okay, all right, we're gonna lock in Magic number 1. We both think Magic is a top 5 player all time. So Magic gotta be number 1.
Right.
The way Curry's career is going, he gonna probably finish top 15, 20 all time.
I would say at some point I will let Curry pass Zeke. Today won't be the day, but yes, it will happen. Today, it will happen. Today it will happen at some point. I just can't do it today.
But like I'm just doing it like when you start like slotting guys, like Magic is a top 5 player all time. We're gonna probably say Zeke and Steph are top 25 players all time.
Okay.
Based upon what he did in his career, I think if you saw a list, Big O's probably like top 20-ish, 25, 30-ish all time.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then now you're getting to what Chris Paul's slot set. So Chris Paul will probably be
35,
40. He's right there with Big O, depending upon what you value. So that was our top 5. Now you're looking at 6. Are we moving Russ past Stockton?
I think
because of the triple doubles.
I think Russ is the top 50 player all time. So
yeah, I think he's top 50 all time too. But
I think Stockton is 1 too though. And
in the point guard aspect, you got Stockton, 10-time All-Star, league of assists 9 times, 2-time steal champ, 11 times All NBA, has 2 uncatchable records.
Yeah, nobody. So all right, I feel like Russ is going to have an uncatchable record, triple double. Anybody getting that?
I'm not even gonna say that. Russ triple doubles is catchable. Ooh. You got Luka.
I don't think Luka doesn't do it. He don't do it often though. He don't get triple doubles often. Him and Jokic do not get it. Like they don't even average triple doubles.
Luka. But even if you don't average it, Luka's came in the league young. So like you're thinking like over 20 years.
Are you talking about the last?
Like Luka averaging like 28, 8, and 8. So that means you putting up some triple double type games here and there. So over a 15, 20 year span, those add up to get you close to that 200 mark, whatever Russ can say.
True, but what Russell Westbrook has done the last since Kevin Durant left, like in those 5-6 years, is Russell triple double at least half the season.
Bro, we can forget Kevin Durant leaving. Over the last 7 seasons, Russ is damn near averaging triple double. It's 26 points, 9.8 assists, 9.4 rebounds.
Okay, so yeah, you're right there. See, all right, so
and that's over the last 7 years.
I would say Luka has the ability. So does Jokic. Those are only 2 guys that I think right now in NBA. I'm trying to think of anybody else. That's probably only 2 guys that's had the ability to get to Russ. But I don't think Russ getting caught. I don't think. Because you have to also think like the tenacity that he plays with, that Luka and Jokic probably can't bring. And I'm not saying it because they're white, but you get what I'm saying. But all right, so I don't think Curry's catchable for 3-pointers, even though the era where we go everybody shoot threes, I don't think that's catchable. And then Stockton, like nobody's getting the steals, nobody's getting the assists because Chris Paul had to play at least 6-7 more years, and that's playing 82 games because Stockton don't miss games. That's the point. Stockton ain't missed games.
Stockton was so durable, like so stuff like that. Games. It's like how do you like
can't catch it.
So it just certain stuff like how do you value certain guys, man.
I love Josh.
Bro, I'm gonna throw Ben Simmons out there. Like he don't play like as hard as Russ goes, but like
he can get it. He has the ability to get it. Okay, I get it.
Ben, Luka, Giannis goes hard, but he don't always get the assists.
He don't get the assists.
Those are like the only 4 guys that can even probably get into like the top 10 of this. I mean, of course, Harden's already 30, so Harden.
Of course, you can't give out Harden. Yeah, true. Yeah, so if we're talking, so if you really was to rank every NBA player, and then you talk about where you're taking the point guards at, I think it's a good spot to say Magic in the top 10, so he's automatically 1. Curry top 15, so he's 2. Zeke will be top 25, so he'll be 3. Big old Chris Paul top 25, 30 for sure. And then that's where you get the Westbrook, Kidd, Nash, and the Stockton debate. But I mean, I guess
Kidd won everywhere too. Like
Kidd,
you got to value that.
Kidd's a winner, successful. Yes, very successful.
You got to hold Stockton up there.
Gotta hold that, and you gotta hold Steve
Nash
Nash MVPs.
the MVPs, and like he up there on the list too with the assists.
With
too.
assists, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he been one of the more efficient guys, like 50, 40, 90 years. Too.
And he
So
probably could have scored more if he wanted to. If he really wanted to. I mean, he had a lot of scores on the team. Sean Marion, Stoudemire, Joe Johnson of the world. Like he had a lot of guys. Dirk Nowitzki when he was in Dallas. So he had a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket. So he didn't really have to score 20 points. So yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna throw the glove out there too. I'm gonna throw Gary Payton.
You can't forget the glove.
One of the best defenders of all time.
Can't forget the glove because a lot of people would debate like that glove versus Steve Nash debate. I've heard people had that one before. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick my hand on the limb, man. I'm gonna say Curry at the end when you ask me when they retire, Curry's gonna be 2.
Yep.
Chris Paul's going to be 5, maybe 4, and then I think I'm putting Russ at 6. So you're talking about we watched 3 of the top 6 point guards ever to play.
You're like
Russ. Not to mention
resume,
we also watched Steve Nash and Jason Kidd and the end of John Stockton careers.
like bro, Russ' resume is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
Like dude is
because
he didn't make it this year, but I mean Russ is a 9-time All-Star, already won 2 scoring titles, 2 assist titles. If he win it this year, that'll be his 3rd assist title. And people don't even really consider Russ a true point guard.
Right.
And he'll have the triple doubles lead by a mile.
By a mile.
So you got to think with the scoring, the passing, the tenacity, and what he brought. I would put Russ at 6 for sure when his career's all the way done.
Yeah, I like that. I like that list. So that's a list. We ain't gonna talk about 7 through 10 because that's
too debatable.
But I think we named the guys that we probably will put at 17: Stockton, Kidd, Nash, Payton. I mean,
order's debatable.
Order's debatable, but I think that's probably be the top 10. So there you go. There's our profit top 10 point guard list. Like I said, it all depends on the Big O situation. Whether something like you said, the new generation will probably put Big O probably 6, and say Russ and Chris Paul top 5. Just to throw it out.
And that's fair too. Like the game has changed. That's fair too.
I'm with it. All right. Let's get out of basketball. Next week we're gonna get into this football NFL draft because the draft is on the April 29th. So we definitely want to get that show out to y'all next week. So today we have to talk about we do it every year. Quarterbacks. We talk about the quarterbacks every single year. But specifically we're gonna start right here in Atlanta at number 4 because we know number 1 is quarterback, 2 is quarterback to the Jets. 3 should be a quarterback as well. So here we are at 4, Atlanta Falcons on the clock. And a lot of people are saying they should draft quarterbacks. Now, I don't know how many times I got to say it. You got to say it. Other people got to say it. When you draft a quarterback, how long, especially the last 10 years, how long do they not play? Tyrod Taylor comes, Cleveland Browns. Oh, Baker Mayfield starting by week 3. Oh, Justin Herbert starting by week 2 for Tyrod Taylor over there as well. You got Daniel Dimes. He came in week 4, week 5. Haskins he done started and got benched already. Like if you draft a quarterback, Atlanta,
you got to put him in.
You're done with Matt Ryan. That's what you're saying. If you draft a quarterback, you don't care about Matt Ryan at all. And now you got a who I believe is still a top 10 quarterback in the league, or at least flirt with that line for a rookie. I don't care. Like that don't make sense to me. So like I want you to. What are your thoughts about like hearing the rumors about them? Like I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, whoever it is at 4. Like it doesn't make sense to basically close like if your window to win the Super Bowl is open. I feel like let's say Atlanta's 50%. Like drafting a quarterback, you're shrinking it because now what are you doing, Matt Ryan? You can't trade him.
I mean, I think you got to back up to the pick before them first. That's the 49ers at 3.
Okay.
That pick really is what's going to set the tone for what the Falcons do. Of course, the Falcons, you got to do your due diligence and evaluate all these guys.
Correct.
Quarterbacks,
Correct.
Skill players, O-line, all that kind of stuff. But the 49ers are going to be a team that set the tone. Trevor Lawrence is already chalked at 1.
Mm-hmm.
By all indications, Zach Wilson will be 2 at the Jets. By the 49ers trading up, they are basically saying, we're going to get the guy we want, and now we're going to leave y'all to deal with the aftermath because let's say the 49ers take Trey Lance. That's going to put a pressure on the Falcons to consider Justin Fields because you got that the Georgia connection. He's from the state. So people who claim to be Falcons fans are always tired of Matt Ryan. So,
Bro, preach it.
so
Shit.
when we're going to say the 49ers do take Trey Lance, so hypothetically, that's going to put pressure on the Falcons to say, do we take the hometown kid, have him sit behind Matt Ryan for 2 years because the cap hit is so huge, it's hard to trade him. You're going to have to eat a lot of dead money. Or do we go offense and take Kyle Pitts? You know, we got Julio, who's starting to age, getting injured a little bit more. You got Ridley. They got the tight end Hayden Hurst from the Ravens, but Pitts is basically a receiver. I mean, they saying tight end, but I mean, just call the guy a pass catcher. So
right, elite pass catcher.
That's gonna put. I think the 49ers gonna put the pressure on the Falcons if Fields is there. It's gonna be, do you take Fields or do you take a pass catcher? So I'm not sure, man. I think Matt Ryan's still around the top 10 too, but just on their franchise side, like winning wise, they've only had like 2 winning seasons the last couple of years since like 2013, 2014. So it may be time for a change, but you know, the game is changing. Maybe. Matt Ryan is 34, 35. Contract is a big hit, but it's basically, I don't say untradeable, but you would have to eat some dead money for the time being. So you may want to start over with your quarterback situation, like the 49ers are doing. I move up to 3. They don't want to keep paying Jimmy G that money. He's missing games.
Let me bring that. So let me break this down to all Atlanta fans, Atlanta Falcons fans, football fans. Here we go. Right. What the percent right now? So when you draft 5 quarterbacks go in the first round, 2 to 3 are going to hit. Now whether it be stars or just solid starters, 2 to 3 are going to flame out. We look at the recent draft class: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen not even playing. Darnold already got traded. Baker Mayfield, will Browns pay him or not? We don't know. Lamar Jackson won an MVP. Josh Allen, had a great season last year as well. So 2 guys that got their franchise quarterback. Browns probably iffy still. Jets already gave up on theirs, and Cardinals been gave up theirs a long time ago. So Atlanta, if Trevor Lawrence the guy, and then Zach Wilson the guy where everybody claims, okay, that means your percentage of getting a guy is going to drop down, right? Whether that's Fields, whether that's Trey Lance, Mac Jones, whatever it is. And the thing about Falcons fans, you already been blessed with Michael Vick and Matt Ryan back to back. As much as y'all hate Matt Ryan, you've been blessed with Matt Ryan. So you telling me the NFL gods are going to give Atlanta franchise, who ain't got no Super Bowls, who blew the worst Super Bowl in my history, 28-3 to the Patriots, blew and Michael Vick career, you think you're going to get blessed with another franchise quarterback? No. I just don't see it, bro. For what Atlanta brings, I don't see them getting 3 franchise quarterbacks back to back. Like, I don't see it.
To me, it's just, I'm just not a fan of this QB obsession that's came about. Now, I can't even say recently. Like, it's always kind of been like a QB obsession. It's just the last decade or so, it's really been pushed to be like, get a quarterback. Like, it's just been like obsessive with so many teams, right. and guys are being drafted places and flaming out because the franchise just can't get it right. Like, the Jets done drafted so many guys, ain't got none of it right. Geno Smith, Mark Sanchez, Sam Darnold gone. I mean, they just
Zach Wilson next, right?
So like this QB obsession thing is to me, it's crazy. Like, you look at a class like '83 that was considered great with Elway, Blackledge, Jim Kelly, Eason, Ken O'Brien, Dan Marino. Elway, Kelly, and Marino hit, but the rest of them, you can't really think of nothing about them.
Right. I mean, we all know Boomer from TV. We all know Boomer from TV, but yeah.
Yeah, so like, it don't really matter what draft class it is. You're lucky to get 1 QB. If you get 2, that's phenomenal. If you get 3, that's just lucky as hell because you barely get that. I mean, you can look at the Andrew Luck RG3 thing. Both them guys gone, and both of them were considered great prospects. 1-2 pick, man, like 2012, they already gone. Or like, it's just
Jameis Mariota, another one.
So like this QB obsessive era, man, it's
crazy.
I don't know, man. Like, trying to move on from your QB all the time or find the next guy. Yeah, that's cool to plan for the future or to reset your salary situation with a rookie scale contract. But if you're not for sure getting that dude, why do that? Like, Jimmy G is going to be out there after this season more than likely. Matt Ryan, Falcons want to push him out. You got some other guys that are kind of out Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay are kind of unsettled. You got something Russell Wilson in Seattle. Who knows what's gonna happen with that? Like guys, even I think at some point in the next year or two, Derek Carr's gonna come up. He's a solid guy. You don't have to just go out here and be obsessed with drafting the QB
every time.
Sometimes you got to take a known commodity and plug and place that into your situation and move from there. Look at the Broncos. Broncos been searching for a QB since Elway left. They had Peyton Manning, but they had to sign him. I mean, they done had Jay Cutler, Drew Lock, Osweiler,
Kyle Orton,
Kyle Orton,
Paxton
Jake
Lynch.
Plummer. Like they just missing. Like, so being obsessive about drafting a QB.
Why?
Why?
Hey, another draft class that you ain't mentioned, the Carson Wentz golf. Both teams. Now, to be fair, the Eagles won a Super Bowl and the Rams got to one. All right, with said quarterbacks, Carson Wentz had an MVP season that year. Golf got Rams. Got Rams pretty close. But you got guys who went before that. Connor Cook. You remember Christian Hackenberg? Like, Jacoby Brissett, a backup. I think that was same draft. I think that was same draft as Paxton Lynch. Like, all these guys, like those guys, Paxton Lynch was first round. Like, flamed. Like, and it's crazy. Rams already gave up on golf, and Eagles gave up on Wentz. So, like, it's just like you said. Why give your whole future away? Or you see what the Dolphins did. Go ahead and trade down. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I'll take all these picks from you. Yeah, come on up here. Come on up to 3. I see the rumors of Atlanta talk about trading back. Like, you don't need to draft. What purpose does it make to draft Matt Ryan? I mean, to have Matt Ryan and draft the successor when the successor is going to play outside of EJ Manuel and Pat Mahomes one game because he played that Week 17 game with the Chiefs already in the playoffs with Alex Smith. Like, every other first round quarterback is going like plays. So if you draft a quarterback, you're not playing Matt Ryan. So now what? So like you said, you can eat the cap, but now what? And if I'm Broncos, I'll give you a second for Matt Ryan.
Like, bro, to me that whole just pushing to get a QB every time, to me it's annoying. Like, Russell Wilson was a 3rd round pick, bro. The first pick was he's gone. RG3 is gone. The 3rd QB started off bad, but then turned it around. Ryan Tannehill. You can find you a diamond in the rough like that, bro. Like, you ain't gotta be trying to trade away all your first round picks to get a QB. Like, nobody would have had Ryan Tannehill. He was the 8th pick, but nobody had him as the best QB prospect.
Right.
And nobody had Russ. Russ was third round, and he the best guy from the class.
Exactly. And he's the one that he had to transfer schools to do so. Like, shout out Russ. I got the Wisconsin hat on. Shout out to Russ. But and that's the point, man. Like, you don't have to. So I would say Atlanta fans just be
careful what you ask for. So
exactly. Be careful what you ask for because you might get you Paxton Lynch. Like, the chances of you getting a Paxton Lynch is probably far greater than you getting a Russell Wilson, a Dak Prescott in his class. Like, I just feel that way no matter who it is at that 4th spot because if Trevor Lawrence and Zach Williams are deemed the guy, then the chances go real down. So before we get out of here, draft next week. We're probably gonna do like a little mock draft next week. So right now, looking at the order, what team or teams you got on your list that like they need to hit because whatever it is, like the whole COVID college season, you got hit because one is probably really unknown, but you probably down here for a reason.
Bro, this is a very unconventional answer, but this year everybody got to hit on their pick. Like, bro,
I like it.
Bro, I'm gonna be brief on this one. The Jazz got to hit because it's Trevor or bust. I mean, you're already kind of irrelevant anyway. The Jets ain't hit on QB in years. 49ers gave up all that capital. You can't miss on that pick. Falcons, if you got a QB, you basically saying forget Matt Ryan. So you screwed if you do that because your money tied up. Bengals, they got to protect Burrow. You done got him. You got to protect him. Dolphins can't miss because you got Tua. Is he gonna be a buzz? We're just talking about QB. Is he gonna be a buzz? They were benching him last year. So I mean, Lions rebuilding. Everybody walked out. Stafford.
So you got hit because you can't sign nobody to Detroit who gonna be good. So you drafted Stafford. and Calvin Johnson, Sue. That's it.
Like, bro, I think this year everybody got a hit. Like, you need to. This is one of those years where you got to really do your studying and nail your pick for your needs. Like, the only team that probably can afford to be like, all right, we'll be okay, might be the Chiefs, maybe the Bucks. But I mean, even that, like the Bucks need to start retooling the cabinet because like they paying everybody now.
They're paying everybody. So, it's only a matter of time.
So they're gonna wind up in that Patriot situation where you're gonna push all the money down the road, and you need some picks that be hitting to be on some cheap deals. So outside of Baltimore, Cleveland,
shit, Baltimore got a hit. They gotta get a receiver. There's no way you sit here and say Sammy Watkins is the answer. Like, there's no way. There's no way Baltimore is saying that. There's no way. And then I think Orlando Brown, they're one of the best tackles, asked for a trade. Yeah. So there's no way. So now you got to drive a tackle, or do you get a receiver? You got to help Lamar Jackson some way. Yeah. In both ways, you got to help him. Either way. So
that's wrong with it, bro. Everybody got to hit.
Everybody got to hit. I like that. I like that answer. If I'm gonna give you one, a specific team, I feel like, man, the Broncos, bro. Like you had them as a surprise team last year, and yeah, Von Miller got hurt. He's back, but and Cortland Sutton got hurt. Like they had a lot of injuries, but I believe in Noah Fant. I believe in Cortland Sutton. I believe in Jared and Judy. I believe in the Melvin Gordon, Lindsey tag running back by committee duo. Do I believe in Drew Lock? Right, and if you Vic Fangio as a defensive guy, do you believe in these corners? The Surtain Juniors of the world, the who's the other guy? Caleb Fairley, who they can say Chris Sims. He said he ain't seen nobody who that big and can run like that, except Jalen Ramsey.
Hey.
So do you just take that risk and say, you know what, let's just get a shutdown guy with Von Miller and Chubb and kind of like that, and we can work on the quarterback later. Which if the Falcons draft a quarterback, I'm offering my second round pick for Matt Ryan. I don't care,
man.
You got, and I feel like Broncos could be the team. I think you might be a year too early, Rashad. I think you was a year too early. Like, I think the Broncos got hit, and if they do, you save Vic Fangio. You got a new GM. He coming up for the Vikings, so he's at least he's a stable guy. You know what I mean? Like a guy who, if anything, we're gonna build a team that can stay relevant for a while, 8-8 or 11-5 versus this 4-12 or this 11-5 one year Super Bowl with Peyton Manning or diving back to Sorry again. Be consistent. Got to find a quarterback. So, is Drew Lock did the answer? I don't know, man.
He's not. I already learned on my list.
I think he duped this.
I bought into that little 5-game sample size. I bought into that little sample size.
I did too.
He had some wins, but not really good numbers.
He duped.
I was like, well, you thinking next year he'll finally have some consistency, because in college he had a new OC basically every year. So you think, all right, in the NFL, same OC, he should be good. And I was buying into him as a prize team, so I'm watching him. The decision making was not good. He was not it. So
maybe because
I'm out on Broncos.
Maybe because he had Cortland Sutton, bro. That's probably what it was. Nah, just playing. No, I'm done. I'm done here. So
I'm out on Broncos. If I had to say a team that really need to hit, man, I want to see the Chargers hit on their pick, because if they get the right O line, Herbert can be that dude for the next couple of years. I mean, he already showing he got. He got it. He got the talent.
He got whatever it is.
But you really give him an O-line. If you give him an O-line on that rookie scale deal and you bring in some more pieces, hey, Kansas City finna get tied up in cap hell. So the Chargers could be right there to win a few divisions and make it competitive. And a second team, I would say, is the Cowboys. They got to fix that doggone defense.
I think, you're right. Patrick Surtain, who we know a great corner for the Miami Dolphins back in the day, he said, bring my son to Dallas. Obviously, I think Caleb Fairley the better talent, but if you compare the Alabama duo back together, Trevon Diggs on one side and Surtain, you honestly, bro, you can't go wrong drafting Bama players. Like,
I mean, yes, you can.
Outside of running back,
I thought
Trent
Richardson was gonna be that man.
Who? Milner. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Hey, but no, he went to the fucking Jets. we established that you can't go to the Jets. I feel like Dallas would be a good environment for whoever goes there though. So shout out to the point guards before we got here. Shout out to Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, 3 top 6 point guards of all time. And Falcons, man, just be careful what you wish for. That's all I can say before we get out of here.
Yeah, that's all these teams, man. They gotta when they make these trades and moving back, moving up, you got to be careful what you're doing because you never know who can snag your guy you've been scouting.
Facts. Be careful what you ask for. All right, appreciate Rashad. Make sure y'all follow us on everything, man. Twitter at the Prophets Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at the Prophets Pod as well. Make sure y'all tap in, subscribe, rate, review, pass it on to your aunties and your uncles and your brothers, man. Appreciate Rashad. We out.
So you can follow me to the store. I don't care to have your mask on.